tape. Championship action coming your way. Rising Stars Bantamweight title on the line as the undefeated Desmond Alvarado takes on Michael Salinas.
Desmond Alvarado is one of the best young up-and-comers I have seen on the scene. He has put a punctuation on his Rising Stars debut. He is undefeated, but he's going up against a taller, rangier fighter who can pick him apart from the outside. It should be a hell of a fight as these two young fighters step inside the Up Next fighting cage.
And UNF fans, please welcome for our next bout, Michael Salinas.
Getting set for championship action. Todd Kennelly, Jonathan King, we are joined by none other than our broadcast colleague, Ashley Evans-Smith. Always great to have you here, Ashley. And Rising Stars title on the line. How pivotal is it to a young athlete early in their career to have an action or an opportunity to battle for a title under the bright lights?
It's amazing. I've had it myself, and to be able to fight is one thing, but after you win that title, whoever's going to win this title, you just feel unstoppable. You feel ready for the pros. Not saying they will be ready, but it gives you that added confidence.
Well, between these two, you got this man, Michael Salinas, has 5 fights under his belt. His opponent with 4 fights under his belt. Let's take a look at Salinas here. His 2 victories by way of decision. He's gone the distance. He's out of San Bernardino, fighting out of adrenaline. He's coming off of 2 consecutive wins, however, so momentum on his side, Jonathan.
Yeah, you see Roosevelt Roberts in the corner of Michael Salinas, training out of Adrenaline MMA under the coaching tutelage of Adam Rothweiler, a tremendous striking coach. This young man fell in love with fighting, started wrestling in 8th grade. COVID robbed him of 2 years of experience, but he predicts a TKO finish tonight against the undefeated Desmond Alvarado.
We'll see if he can bring that predator mentality with Roosevelt Roberts in his corner.
And now, making his way to the cage, his opponent, Desmond Alvarado.
All right, Ashley. So not only a title on the line for Desmond Alvarado, but an undefeated record on the line as well. Comes in a perfect 4-0, 2 knockout victories, 2 decisions. So when you've got an undefeated record, title on the line, is that inspiration, confidence, or is the weight of the world on this youngster?
I think he's got everything to gain right now. You know, he's here with CMMA, the local home crowd, his family support, a title. There's no pressure, you know. The amateurs, this is the place to try things, to get experience. So he shouldn't feel the pressure, but if he is a real fighter, every fight is your next biggest fight.
Yeah, you know, Desmond Alvarado's favorite fighter, Todd, Ashley Hickson Gracie, my favorite fighter of all time, besides Nick Diaz. This kid sets a pace. He's got brown belt jiu-jitsu pedigree. He's dangerous everywhere the fight goes. But you know, what reminds me the most when I look at this young fighter, Ashley, is I see a very young Nick Diaz in this young man's pedigree.
That's amazing because I've interviewed him and he is not a personality of Nick Diaz. He is a humble family man. He is a sweetheart, but maybe inside the cage he's a little Nick Diaz.
Well, and speaking of family, it's been a family tradition, have the martial arts for Desmond Alvarado. His family runs a jiu-jitsu academy. I mean, a very young Desmond Alvarado started at 3 years of age.
Oh my God.
You know, my jiu-jitsu coach, Henry Akins, who trained under it, was a Hickson Gracie black belt. I talked to this young man during the pre-fight interviews, and he was telling me how he watches videos of Henry Akins' hidden jiu-jitsu with his father. They are students of the game, and the thing that strikes me most about this young man is look how absolutely comfortable he is when he steps inside the cage.
Let's take a look at the keys to victory for the undefeated Desmond Alvarado.
The title is on the line, Todd, and for Desmond Alvarado, he's got to control the cage. If he can bring the fight to the mat, take an aggressive stance, it could be a very, very long night for his opponent.
It's title time, USA. Let's send it back to the cage in our own Rain Cruise.
UNF fans, this fight is set for 3 rounds for the UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight Championship. your referee in charge, Mike Bell. Introducing first, standing at 6'1", weighing in at 133 pounds, his Rising Stars record, 5 fights. Representing Adrenaline MMA and fighting out of San Bernardino, California, Michael Salinas. And his opponent, standing at 5'6", weighing in at 134 pounds, his Rising Stars record, 4 fights. Representing CMMA and fighting out of Whittier, California, Desmond Alvarado.
Stage is set. Rising Stars battle for the Rising Stars Bantamweight title. Todd Kennelly, Jonathan King, Ashley Evans-Smith here. Pleased to bring you the call of the action for this one. Michael Salinas out
Ladies
of
and
the
gentlemen,
blue corner.
we are asking everyone to take a seat before we can start this bout. Thank you very much. Everyone has to take a seat, ladies and gentlemen, before we can start this bout.
There you have it, given
Everybody needs to sit down per the fire marshal. We cannot start the event until everyone sits down. Please take your seats now so we can get started. That includes everybody along the walls. Please find your seats so we can get started. Thank you.
Getting set for action, Rising Stars Division. Todd Kennelly, Jonathan King, Ashley Evans-Smith. You got Michael Salinas out of the blue corner. He's got 5 fights under his belt, couple decision victories, taking on the unstoppable thus far, Desmond Alvarado. For this youngster, fighting's been a family business. His family ran a jiu-jitsu gym. He started at 3 years old, and so far so good for Alvarado. He's a perfect 4-0, 2 knockout victories and 2 victories by way of decision.
You already see Michael Salinas fighting long, and that's, you can't teach reach. Am I right, Ashley Evans-Smith?
Yeah,
You cannot teach reach, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's fighting at range.
He's using that range. He might be trying to close the gap, but he's using that range real well.
And that's a good way to get away from that jiu-jitsu pedigree of Alvarado, as well as, again, he started at the age of 3 years old with his family. Both fighters jockeying for position. 3 3-minute rounds here in the Rising Stars division. The Bantamweight title up for grabs.
You see Michael Salinas swimming his hips, trying to avoid any connection to Desmond Alvarado's hip, because if he can connect one hip to the other, it could be a quick throw or a judoka throw and putting Salinas on the mat. Doing a good job of fighting off the cage here. Alvarado trying to control the position here, but unable to get anything off here.
And Ashley, you got the human game of chess up against the cage.
Desmond is just tenacious. He's holding him.
There he goes,
And
able
finally
to get
the
the
takedown.
takedown there.
And Desmond Alvarado has some impressive victories right here and up next fighting, including over the likes of Rayshawn Rowland. It was a round 3 KO. Rayshawn Rowland has improved to a 3-1 record ever since that loss. So you talk about quality of competition for Alvarado.
I wonder how Salinas is feeling since this is a short notice fight.
Yeah, he took this fight on 7 days' notice, ladies and gentlemen, so he's trying to lock up a triangle here, unable to do so, as Desmond Alvarado keeps that heavy chest pressure here. No stranger, because he's his favorite fighter, Rickson Gracie, who's known for his pressure, and that's what you see from Desmond Alvarado here.
I'm really excited to see if Desmond can pull out the finish. He said he's tired of playing position over submission, and he wants to work on the finishes. I wonder if we'll see one tonight.
Yeah, but you know, that's what we see in jiu-jitsu so often, is fighters chasing the submission and giving up the position. Alvarado's not doing that, even though he said that's not what he wants to do.
At the end of the day, you just got to win the fight.
Yeah,
And Salinas, guys, has found himself in trouble before. I mean, he had 3 consecutive losses. He's turned it around. He's got 2 consecutive wins. And yes, he took this fight in short notice, but what an opportunity if he can turn this thing around to take a fight in short notice and perhaps take home championship gold.
Only 20 seconds left in the frame here. Alvarado in firm control here, but referee Mike Bell imploring action here. 10 seconds left in the frame.
Alvarado strikes and controls position. Strikes position. Oh, wow.
Look out here.
Wow.
Final seconds, wrapping them up, and the first round comes to a close. These Rising Stars rounds, Ashley, they go by in a blink of an eye.
It's so fast.
In 2 minutes, Desmond Alvarado was able to control his opponent for about 1 minute and 40 seconds there after the takedown. Did a tremendous job of maintaining position before going for the submission. He looked for it late, but was unable to get it because Michael Salinas is a dog, baby.
Let's take a look back at the action. Ashley, what are some of the things you saw here in round one?
I just love the tenacity of Alvarado up against the cage. But you know what? Salinas was moving and, like, you know, Jonathan said, getting his hips off the cage. It was a war. And once he got him down, he was trying to get up, but Alvarado is just on him.
The last seconds there, time ticking away. If he had a little bit longer, if it was a 5-minute round, who knows? But 3-minute rounds here in this championship bout in the Rising Stars division. We will see if Michael Salinas can turn things around here in round two. Rising Stars bantamweight title hanging in the balance between these two.
And you know, I think Ashley Evans Smith may have just given Desmond Alvarado his nickname, Tenacious D. Is there anything better than Tenacious D?
There isn't. I'm told that they had the greatest song in the world at one point.
Absolutely.
Actually, it was just a tribute. Striking here, and you said it earlier, guys, that perhaps distance would be the best friend of Salinas, but closing the gap is Alvarado, and they're right in our laps,
Yep,
guys.
I love it.
Look at the head position here. He's using his head to frame the chin of his opponent here. Dominant position here, heavy pressure. This is Rickson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu 101 here, and that's what you're seeing from Desmond Alvarado.
We see Salinas working his own game on the bottom here.
Desmond Alvarado, guys, is a full 7 inches shorter, but you're all the same size when you're on the mat. And Alvarado takes away that advantage in a hurry.
If he can use his legs, I see a submission attempt coming, though. This lanky fighter, here it comes.
Alvarado trying to posture up here to land something big. Landing some nice right hands on the inside. Landing to the body, using that left hand to frame the chin.
Trying to stay just busy enough for the officials' liking here, and cage control aplenty here, much like we saw in round one for Alvarado.
Alvarado still has 1 minute and 30 seconds to work here, trying to take the back of Salinas. Salinas turning into it, doing a good job of avoiding the back take here.
He is for the moment. I think the cage, the only thing saving him, and down goes Salinas yet again.
Amazing takedown by Alvarado. This guy just can't do anything from the bottom right now.
You know, I feel for Michael Salinas because being at 6'2", 6'3", I fought guys or trained against guys that were 135 pounds, and once they got inside on me and took me down, it was a long day, Todd.
Yeah, Alvarado starts to posture up, looking to keep this thing physical and stay in control of this title fight, trying to continue his way to a 5th straight victory and collect some jewelry in the process. And Ashley, I gotta ask you, it's a tough proposition right now for Salinas, but what can he do to better his odds?
If he can get those long legs in there and create space and get his guard back, or just get up, grab a leg, sit up.
Guillotine here, look out!
Mounted guillotine, it's not in.
But it might be a case of out of the frying pan into the fire for Michael Salinas. He is all on the defensive here, Ashley, virtually no offense.
Alvarado doing a great job of just smothering here.
Absolute love sponge. That's what he's doing here, is just sponging up all the love of Michael Salinas. Desmond Alvarado, heavy chest pressure, landing those short shots here, definitely scoring on the judges' scorecards.
I would have loved to see some elbows, but I know we are in the amateurs right now. I think Alvarado will one day have some wicked elbows.
2 rounds in the books. Jonathan cruising his way to his 5th victory thus far. Desmond Alvarado, Tenacious D, if you will.
Tenacious D, that's why we're cruising together. 2 rounds to none for Tenacious D, Desmond Alvarado.
Well, Tenacious D did have a song called Explosivo, and that is what Alvarado's been thus far with the takedowns. I mean, just as you said, Ashley, has absolutely smothered Salinas.
He's doing a great job of keeping the ref happy too, you know. Sometimes with these amateur fights, because they're fast, you might want to stand him up quicker, but he'll strike, 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 back to position. Strike, 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 back to position. So he's got that down. I hope we can see a finish.
Now, Ashley, let me ask you this. Michael Salinas, you know, at least on my scorecard, he's down 2 rounds to none. I don't know if he is on your scorecard,
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
how can he mentally turn this fight around?
Mentally, he's got to accept that there's nothing to lose right here. You got the title in front of him. You're down. You got to throw everything in the kitchen sink smartly.
If you're Michael Salinas, he's got 3 minutes to work. He hasn't lost yet.
You got nothing to lose right now.
Still got a shot, got to go
There.
for broke. Now using the knees, starting to use that range, that lanky frame. Looking for that clinch again.
And Alvarado immediately decides to get out of the firefight and bring the fight back to the mat. Tremendous job of dictating the pace and controlling the real estate here.
Kevin Lizardo, Ken Fajardo, Rayshawn Rowland have all fallen victim to Desmond Alvarado right here at Up Next Fighting, and Salinas might be just another victim.
Salinas is going to have to do what he can to get his back to the cage so he can get back to his feet. He's not going to win this fight off the back, especially down 2 rounds to none, Ashley.
I would like to see some sweep attempts, you know, just pushing on the hips, getting up, and just get Alvarado off you. That's all he needs to do.
You know, it could be easier said than done. I'm sure you can attest to
Oh, look out here, full mount.
it. Alvarado stepping over.
The side control, no, knee on belly again.
The most uncomfortable position in jiu-jitsu is the knee on belly.
And he bucked out of it.
Michael Salinas showing a lot of fight though, but again, it's really been on the defensive for most of the fight, has Salinas, and it's got to just be frustrating at this point with the final minute and a half here ticking away.
You see Salinas flirting with the legs, flirting with submission attempts, but not committing to anything. He's really got to put the foot to the gas pedal here if he wants to win this fight. The title hangs in the balance, Todd, and he seems to be accepting this position.
And Ashley, I got to ask you this though. Yeah, it may be so, but also for Alvarado. It seemed earlier, you said I want to see the elbows. As he moves longer in his Rising Stars career and maybe into his pro career, do you want to see a more aggressive Alvarado looking for the finish?
I wrapped up the guillotine.
I think he's perfect right now. As soon as he's able to do
He got the guillotine finish. Oh my Lord!
Wow. Wow.
Got the finish.
He got
one
the
way or
finish. He
another.
did it. What an amazing evolution of Alvarado.
5-0. Does it with style. What did we say? It was a family tradition. Started at 3 in jiu-jitsu. It paid off there. Cinches in the guillotine. Off with his head.
Once again, Todd, Ashley, I have been affirmed the top Rising Stars fighter in the division. Tenacious D, Desmond Alvarado, picks up a tremendous 3rd round finish.
Well, I'm off to go interview these boys.
All right, it was a pleasure having you, Ashley. Evan Smith going to relocate to get a word. But let's talk about history. Alvarado's made a lot of it here in UNF. It's his 5th victory overall, but his 4th straight victory in Up Next Fighting as we take a look back at some of the action.
Yeah, you see calm, cool, and collected, countering off the jab on the level change with the takedown attempt. Desmond Alvarado's timing is impeccable. He's just a tremendous, tremendous, well-rounded fighter. He took his opponent out of the game plan, brought him into the fire, and boy, did he let it burn.
And I'll tell you though, credit to Salinas. Took this fight against an undefeated fighter in short notice and just didn't have an answer for the aggression and the takedown ability of Alvarado, who was cage control from start to finish and finished in extraordinary fashion. There you see it with the guillotine, cinched it in, got the tap, and is going to take home the gold as well. This guy just looks like an MMA fighter, doesn't he? He's just all business, Jonathan.
I can't say it enough how much he reminds me of a young Nick Diaz. This guy is deadly. He's an assassin. He has ice water running through his veins, Todd. Look at him. His demeanor has never changed as he talks with Coach David Waters there from CMMA. This guy's, oh, look, he cracked a smile for the first time, Todd. And then it goes immediately back to
right
all
back.
business.
Ice water running through the veins, but he's going to have gold around his waist after this. Rain's going to make it all official. History made here in Burbank, California.
UNF fans, referee Mike Bell has called a stop to this fight at 2 minutes and 9 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by tap out guillotine submission choke. And now, UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight Champion, Desmond Alvarado!
How sweet it is. Undefeated 5-0, and now the Bantamweight champion of the Rising Stars division. Everything coming up Alvarado as Ashley Evans-Smith standing by to get a word with the brand new champ.
All right, guys. I am here standing next to your newly crowned UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight champion, Desmond Alvarado. Congrats, my friend. Amazing fight. We spoke before, and you said you were submission before position, and you wanted to get a finish. You got that finish, and you are now the champ. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
First, I want to thank God, as always, for keeping me and my opponent safe. As long as we get to come back home to our families, that's all that really matters. Second, I want to dedicate this fight to my baby cousin who passed away this summer, Xavier Wartha. This fight was dedicated to him.
Thank you for that. We are so excited to see you move to 5-0, undefeated fighter. Your future is so bright. Would you like to call anyone out? Do you want to defend your belt?
For sure defending this bout, and for sure coming for the flyweight title as well, and for sure coming for the state belts. But real quick, I want to take this moment to thank the amazing women in my life. My mom, Mindy Alvarado, my girlfriend, Diana Aguirre. I want to thank my family and friends that came out today. I want to thank the amazing coaches that I have that are all amazing, strong fathers as well. I feel like that's what I'm a product of. I want to thank my boxing coach, Rodell Mayo, my head coach, Chad George, who kind of is the puppet master of all of CMMA's success. I want to thank my wrestling coach, Dave Waters, and I want to thank my dad and my partner through this and my jiu-jitsu coach, Albert Alvarado. Without any of these people playing their parts and sculpting me, I'm nothing, right? Without God, I'm nothing. Without these people, I'm nothing. Thank you, everybody that came out for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it one more time for your new UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight champion, Desmond Alvarado.
Desmond Alvarado making history, classy, in victory, 5-0, undefeated, brand new champ, and paying tribute to a lost loved one. We certainly send him and his family our best for that, but certainly doing everybody in the Alvarado family proud, and it's been a family tradition in martial arts since he was just out of diapers. And what I love too is Alvarado saying he's going to come back defend that title, looking to be a multi-weight class champion and a state champion before making that all-important step up to the professional ranks. And speaking of, the professional ranks are exactly what's up next. Professional fights coming your way, a couple title fights, first ever.